Okay, we're ready to go.
Okay, so we'll call this meeting of the commissioners to order on 1901 on the 2nd of November, 2020. Any changes or adjustments to the agenda?
I would like to add a D Delta under new business, Battalion
Okay.
Chief promotional list certification.
Yes, okay. New business Delta. Anything else? So we will adopt the agenda with that change. And minutes of the previous meeting. Anybody have any comments beside me?
Yes, I do.
Oh, good. Probably you caught them all, huh?
I don't know. I just thought under discussion, the first sentence didn't make much sense.
Uh-huh. That's top of page 4.
Yeah, no, 3.
Okay, just a minute. Oh, yeah,
Minutes
yeah,
of previous meeting discussion.
yeah. Exactly, yes. That's my first one also. Okay, so it states currently, Commissioner Flass stated that the minutes from October 5th, but regarding the special meeting on the 14th, it was mentioned that, so on and so forth. So I think, yes, that needs help.
Right. I don't
So do you want
remember
to,
what I
since
was
that
saying.
is your discussion, you want to rewrite that for us?
Do I
just
want
took
to?
out- I
Yes,
just forgot from October 5th, but so it says Commissioner Flass stated that the minutes regarding the special meeting on the 14th mentioned, instead of it was mentioned that he was not present, period.
That's good. Right, that's great.
Commissioner Flass said he was there, but
yeah,
he was meeting with the presenters and blah, 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 right? That's the rest of that's
Yes.
okay? Okay. I think I got that.
Yes.
You want me to read it again?
yeah,
Okay. First sentence, Commissioner Flass stated the minutes regarding the special meeting on the 14th mentioned that he was not present.
yes. Okay, excellent, thank you. Go ahead, Commissioner Flath, any other changes?
Yes, on page 4, the 9th line above old business.
One that starts with before.
Yes, before per Chief Waller. The chief said that if the district does not I think it should probably be do a lid levy lift.
Let's see, page 4, top of page 4.
The,
Yeah, so that's, I had that as the 8th line. Let me see what's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So am I looking in the wrong place?
No, above old business, if you count up 9 lines.
Oh, above old business, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Then there's another one also. So look up 9 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yes. Yeah, I had that one.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly, 6, 7, 8. So that was one I had. Go ahead. So we will rewrite that.
Did you have another one on that page before?
Yes, I
we go on?
did. Let's take them in order. So I'll go with mine on that page. So top of page 4, top of page 4. I'll get back to the note. Okay, there you go. Let's see, that the district will continue to improve the emergency response service, improve training, prepare for facility needs, replace equipment, increase staffing, and fill the deputy chief position and look into future. So that instead of and fill the deputy chief position, which is on the 3rd line there, I think we should put well, there's already a comma there, so we could just delete that and.
Yeah, that's what I mean, just the column.
Yeah, right. Okay, that's all I had, I think, for that line, page 4, 8. Oh, page 4. Oh, yeah. Also, on page 4, the public hearing ended. We ended the public hearing and resumed the regular board meeting, but there's no time in there. I don't know how important that is. But we didn't put a time in there.
I think I also noticed in line 8 from the bottom, Commissioner Smoker, that you did, there's something in that first part of that sentence after the correction that Commissioner Flath had,
Yeah, I put it might need to ask the voters.
might need to, okay.
I caught that too.
That it might,
Okay.
yeah. Yes, exactly. That was on my list. Isn't that the one that Commissioner Flath had? Did I
Yeah,
miss
he
it?
got the,
Before you-
he mentioned the do, but not the need. I added
Oh.
that in.
Okay, good. So, okay, so page 4, okay, old business, first sentence, okay. Old business, first sentence. Chief Waller stated the current operating budget is based off the 1% and asked if the commissioners have any questions at the point. Should be at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Commissioner Flath.
At the 452 bid acceptance,
Okay, that's
There's no-
down, what
there's-
page? Which
it's
page are
on
we on?
page 5.
Got it, there it is.
There's no mention there that it was passed. It just says that you,
But, so I think it's implied because I made the motion, you seconded it, and
Right.
Commissioner Merritt abstained, so I think that's implied. However, I guess we could say it was passed. What do you think?
I think we'll add it. I think we'll say motion passed in front of the commit, and then comma Commissioner Merritt abstained from voting due to possible.
Okay,
yeah,
all right,
that sounds good.
okay. Go ahead. Anything else?
Yes. The last line of the RLB,
The DOE covenant?
yes. It says all was, I think it should be all were.
Yep, exactly. I had that on my list.
Did you say the last line?
It's actually, let's see, page 7, fourth, no, that's a different.
Page
Where's
6.
my notes? Anyway, I know what you're talking about because
Yeah, I don't see it
It's-
right now. I'm trying
just
to
a minute, let me look at my notes. We're undetermined. Standard to cover, last line should be all were in favor. Oh, that's a standard to cover. So standard to cover is that, I think that's the paragraph you're really talking
Oh,
about.
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, right.
Yep,
Yes.
got it.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I looked at the wrong
Yeah.
place.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. And we did that standard cover. Okay, DOE cover. Okay, go on, Commissioner Flath.
Yeah, on 7, page 7,
Yep.
where I was mentioning something there. Add work, who are on. But
Yes.
2 or 1.
Yes.
I'm not quite sure what that was saying.
I think, let's see, what I had for that. Let's see, middle of the same, okay, so page 7. In my notes, I had middle of the discussion, same discussion, DOA covenant.
Mhm.
But you're on page 7, fourth paragraph needs an on. 1, 2, which paragraph are you talking about on page 7?
I'm talking about the
Fourth.
one that starts Commissioner Flath.
Asked? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, what I had for that paragraph is fourth paragraph needs an on. Commissioner
I
Plath
thought it-
asked if those who were on modified duty,
Mhm.
who are on, instead of who are modified duty, that's the first line,
Right,
were injured at work. Now, later in that paragraph, it has to be determined for one person, but two were one.
Yeah, I think we'll check, but I'm pretty sure he said that two were determined and they were actually off
Yes.
duty. So we'll
Yes.
re-listen to that and make sure we get that right.
Okay, further on that same paragraph, it is DC Hodkinson's hope that those two will be back to work soon. Commissioner Flath wanted to know if the undermined, I think it's undetermined
Yep.
right.
injury. Okay, sorry, I took over for you. Go ahead, Commissioner
No,
Flath.
that's fine. No, that was all I had there.
Okay.
So,
And then I had paragraphs, or page 7, 6th paragraph. Until, let's see, until at least, not until at last. So that's until, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
At least 2021.
Yeah, until at last, it says at last 2021, it should be at least 2021, I believe.
Correct.
Okay. And then now going back to the Department of Energy covenant. So if we go back to that, that's on page 6, I think.
mhm.
Yes. It says Commissioner Smoker stated that he read through the proposal and had reservations. That is correct. Then it says the first being, which is not true. My reservation wasn't that it had, the first being that the area that we're looking at is very small and there appears to be no choice in the matter. That is misleading because that's not my first concern. That was actually why I thought we should pass it. So it wasn't a concern. The concern was, I had lots of reservations, but I believe that sentence should read, however, since the area they were looking at is very small and there appears to be no choice in the matter, we should pass or sign the agreement. Something to that effect, anyway.
Got it. However, since that makes sense.
Okay. All right, and as mentioned earlier, I will forward my list to you. Some of the things may not make sense, but it may trigger, if you read them, it'll probably make sense. If you can find what I'm looking at. Okay, so that brings us, any other comments? Commissioner Merritt, any comments about the minutes?
Nope, I don't have any comments.
Okay. Then I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes with all of those changes.
I second that motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Old business, 2020 revenue review.
So you saw this before, so I included page 11, 12, 13, all the way through 18 as just review. This is what you saw last meeting when you adopted the expense budget with the proposed revenue. So any discussion you want with those, and basically what we come to is at page 19, the resolutions to enact your direction from last meeting. So we have 4 resolutions to enact your direction from the last meeting. One sort of unusual one is the implicit price index. So since it was lower than 1%, we have to do a resolution specific for the EMS levy. The other 3 are what we normally do every year, directing the amount of the EMS levy, the amount of the expense levy, and then giving the county the direction of what to do and what to collect, where to put it.
Right. All right, so any discussion on that revenue review?
Well, I shared some of my concerns with the chief the other day about the all sources of,
Mhm.
I don't know if you remember that.
I do not.
The sources,
Uh,
so refresh our
Yeah,
memory.
all sources that we could get, that could be tapped into for funding.
Like the other funding sources such as the school districts
Right.
and the MVA billing.
That's correct,
Okay,
yes.
gotcha. And
I
I
don't
can
know
look
if
at
we've
those.
looked into that or not.
Not that I know of, and we can look at those. I know about the school one. I think, like I told Commissioner Flatt, that should be a conversation uh, with the school district before we go too far and explain to them basically we can collect a fee per student from the school districts. It comes out of the state budgets and not the local budget, so there's not really a local impact. But I think, I guess, community and PR wise, we'd want to have a lot of discussions before I think we brought it to you, so everybody understood what that meant and what that was going to do. And I can get you more information from Brian Snur about that in the next couple meetings if you'd like. And then MVA billing, that is on my list of projects to look at for deputy chiefs. Again, that's a fairly simple program to put into place. Much like our EMS billing, we have a company bill for us, and they take a percent of the collected off, and it's billing motor vehicle insurances for motor vehicle leaks, car wrecks, things like that. Again, that's not a very hard program. It's just going to take us, probably a few months to get it, so it probably wouldn't have a huge impact in this year's budget. It'd be something I think you'd want to give us direction for both of those things to look at for the 2022 budget. Give us time over the next year to make sure we bring you all the information. You have time to see the pros and the cons to both of those possible programs, and that we work out the details so you have a clear picture of what you would be, adding to staff work, to operations work, and the possible, again, impacts to the community, and then what that would benefit financially wise. And we can work on both of those for the next 6 months or so if you'd like.
Sure. I think just to be diligent in our service to the community, that we should review both of those things. Okay, any other discussion on review the revenue part of this?
Do we pass them one at a time, the resolutions?
We could do one at a time if you like, or we can do all four. Let's have some discussion and see which way we'll go. Any discussion on any of the resolutions as presented?
I was wondering in 531, how much is the increase per thousand?
That, if you want to look at page,
It's just under 3 cents per thousand. It's like
Okay,
2.8
okay.
or 2.9.
Thank you.
thank you, Mike.
Any other questions? Any other discussion?
That's the only question I had about that, so thank
Okay,
you.
I don't have any questions.
all right, then I'll make a motion that we approve resolution 530, resolution 531, resolution 532, and resolution 533.
I'll second that.
Okay, any other further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And then okay, financial accounts payable. Hold it. Yeah, that's right. Any questions on accounts payable for this month?
There was the Department of Revenue.
That's attachment B of resolution 533.
Okay,
So that got passed when we past 533.
Okay,
I will note just for the record that the final AP is actually 2 cents different than the one we gave you.
Okay,
All right.
all right. And
I
so,
was wondering, as I went through this, I was noticing there was another payment out for dues. How many different groups are we associated with for dues? Is that
several.
a figure that anybody has right off the top of their head?
Not unless Mike has it off the top of the head. I don't. We could find it, but yeah, several between county, state, and I guess
There's probably some national too, isn't there?
correct. That's what I'd say. National. I was gonna say federal, but that wasn't the right word.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're part of many groups, and then Washington State Fire Chiefs, Washington State Commissioners Association. We pay
Small
dues.
Fire Commissioners.
Yeah. Yep, and we
Yeah.
Snohomish County Fire Chiefs Association, National Fire Protection Association. I'm probably only halfway there. You got any, Mike?
no, there's all the ones on the EMS side too.
Yeah,
Okay, sure.
North
Okay.
County EMS or North Region EMS. Sorry.
Right. And I just keep seeing them coming. That's why I finally thought I should ask.
Yeah, they all bill at a different time, and so it's really up to their billing cycle when we joined, when their billing cycle is. We really have no control of that.
And then
All
number
right.
18, I was going to ask about 18. That's where we did that tail with the other bidders, right?
Correct. Yep.
That's the load
That's the
system.
power
for the
load
cops.
costs.
Yeah, the power lifts. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
And I
Is that
I
it?
was wondering here with the yard sale,
Correct.
I noticed there was something, I think, for a newspaper ad on that, but where does the funds that came in, where does that end up going?
Went back into the general fund, F70.
70? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other question or discussion on the accounts payable for this month?
Nope.
All right, then I'll make a motion. We approve accounts payable as presented.
I second that motion.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And that brings us to the phone bid acceptance. So, has everyone had a chance to review the bids that the 2 final bids that we came down to?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And do we have any discussion around those?
I was wondering about the one that was talking about with credit cards.
Can you give me a page?
Page number?
I think it was with the second one in there somewhere. I'm sorry I didn't put that down.
So that would be, let me see if I can get
Audience.
there.
Page starts at page 65.
Okay.
I am.
So what did it had to do with credit cards? Had to do with accepting credit cards or using credit
I
cards? in the
think
system?
they were being offered.
Credit cards were being offered.
Yeah,
There's a credit card authorization. That's just to me, that's one of their general forms, so that if we wanted to set up auto pay with our credit card, we'd fill out this form.
Oh, is that what you're
okay.
talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have the credit card authorization form, the credit card information form. They're just blank forms. We just wouldn't choose to pay that way.
No.
Okay. And then I found where the first folks, they shared their monthly service charge. And I don't recall seeing that with the second bid.
Yeah, and it's kind of like 452. They laid out their information a bit differently.
Right.
So it's hard to pick out the same things if you pick out one piece of the other and it's not the same in the other. So I can't do that. I can't speak to that. They basically laid theirs out in a different way with
Page
these amounts.
69 has the monthly.
Was
Yeah, but
that
then-
For Audion, page 69 has the monthly reoccurring.
Oh, the 564, correct.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
722.51 total with taxes, which is a lot
Right.
less than the other bid.
That's okay. That's what I was looking for and didn't, but thank you, Mike.
Yep.
Or Chief, Deputy Chief.
So, okay,
So
further discussion?
So,
Question?
Audion was quite a bit cheaper, like I said, and everybody felt they were offering a better product.
okay.
It sounded like the staff worked better with that as well, with the equipment.
Yeah, they felt the features and the abilities to. Mike can speak to us better. He was there, I wasn't, but the way that we could change them and all that was more.
There's a
suited
lot
to
more
us.
of us having the control, where the other company wanted to have the control, wanted to be the administrators, and we can be our own administrators on this other program. So we can change messages and change just a lot of things that would cost us money to have them do it, the other company do it.
The hidden fees.
Yes.
Hidden fees. So,
Yeah.
Chief, you're leaning more towards the Audion bid than.
Yeah, the initial cost is cheaper. The monthly cost
Yeah.
is
Okay.
cheaper, and there's less, from what we can determine, hidden fees, and everybody felt more comfortable with Audion's products. So really, there's all the logical signs point to Audion, especially with the cost difference, and especially when it's better suited to us.
Sounds good.
Okay. Further discussion, questions?
I don't have any questions. Do you want to make a motion to approve that?
Please, yes, go
All right,
ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve that bid for the phone system from Audion.
Okay, excellent. I'll second that. Further discussion? Going once, Richard? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. And then we go to SCBA bid.
So this is technically a bid, but it looks more like quotes. My recommendation is to use a cooperative, just like we did with the compressor, the SCBA compressor. Basically, all the companies bid to these cooperatives. That counts as the bid, and then we can just go through them without going through the longer process. If you see the three quotes, you have two from C-Western, one from MES. We've worked with both. MES has done really, really well for us with the SBAs, but the exact same product, they're about $30,000 more expensive. So it would be hard for me to recommend to spend an extra $30,000 on the exact same stuff. Basically, if you approve one of the quotes, I will then have Brian Snur do the final legal documentation to make it a legal bid. He's got to do some ILA stuff and send us the letter and a few other things, but that takes about a week or two versus a bid, which is a couple months, and we're running out of time with the SCBAs as we speak. So like I said, the bids are for the exact same product, exact same brand, exact same model. And basically the reason we want to go with that is because our mutual aid partners are using that exact brand and that exact bottle. So when we go to a fire, we can actually use their bottles in our SCBA and vice versa, so that we can better be prepared for large incidents.
Or are you going for the first quote from CE Western or the second quote?
The first quote, the cheapest quote, there's a little bit of different RIP pack, but again, the crews want the first quote and it's cheaper, so I don't see any reason to, if we can get what they want for a cheaper price, that seems to be make the most sense. So I am recommending the first quote, the cheapest quote of the three.
Does I see that on the first quote that there's a trade-in for existing equipment. So I take it you're going to be trading in your old packs, correct?
Correct.
And they're going to be refurbishing them and probably reselling them or whatever they're going to do with them. I see on the second one that there's not that. Is that
correct? And I asked them about it, and they did not include it in their bid for whatever reason. They
But I know
both
the
got
packs are
all.
quite a different price too.
Yeah, both of the salesmen got the same emails from me. I just CC'd them, so everything that one salesman got, the other salesman got equally. So there was no favorites. They probably won't be able to refurbish them. All of our bottles have less than 12 months of life on them, and they can't be used ever again. They're basically illegal in the garbage. And
Yeah.
our packs are so old, they don't meet the current standards, so they could not sell them. Basically, what they'll be able to do with these is sell them for parts for people that still have them and need pieces here and there, but they can't sell them as a new usable pack.
okay?
So
Exactly.
this is like a used car trade-in, right? It's like, I'll give you $2,000 for if you can push, pull, or tow it in.
Correct.
And so the second or the third bid, even though they don't include that, but if they did include it, would be under $200,000. But they don't include it because they're just bidding. The other guys are just bidding. They're not counting on any revenue from that trade-in, even though they discounted 164. It's a marketing thing rather than a
Yeah, and I think
actual.
it's all included in that unit price. If you look at it, it's quite substantially different.
Yes,
And I think that's how they do it with their trade-in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm guessing, like you said, Jim, if I tell them, oh, never mind, we're not gonna do the trade-in, then the price would go down. Or if the other one I said, no, I really want to do that trade-in, the price would go up.
yes,
And so
Awesome.
exactly.
Okay, I just didn't see it in the line item. Okay, that makes sense now. So they just market it differently, obviously.
Yes.
All right.
but
Okay.
that's an assumption. Neither one told me that, but again, I asked for that option from both people.
Sure. All right. Any further discussion on the SCBA bid?
Nope, I don't have any discussion. We are trying to get this a motion on this tonight, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll motion to accept the C Western SCBA bid,
The first one.
the first one.
Okay, I'll second that. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Thank you. And then policies. We have several policies.
Yes, and I was talking to Commissioner Flath, and I gave you a red line version and a clean version, but they don't exactly match up because we were changing the format layout of the policy. So the red line version shows you what we changed, and then our policy expert, Christine, took that and made it into a clean copy under the new format. So it's hard, I understand it's hard for you guys to track exactly where we got from A to B, and that's why I was trying to give you both. But all the stuff and everything that was not changed in the first one should substantially be in the clean version. We have shortened some verbiage up in places where we could do that without changing the meaning, and took out a lot of the numbers and put it to bullets and have a lot less things that I feel is distracting for the reader, trying to get the most important information into their heads as soon as possible. That's why we put the meat of the policy up in section 3, where the old ones, it was in section 7. And so that's the main driver of changing the format, is to try to get the most important information into the reader's hands as soon as possible when they're going through the policy. You got 3 policies that are modifications of old policies. Mostly just legal review. As I said in my brief, there's one substantive change in the part-time sick policy, and that's cash out for people with extended service time that meet the minimum qualifications. Then we have 2 new policies that have never existed before. That's it. I guess if you have any questions.
All right, any questions on any of these? Let's start there.
Nope.
Commissioner Plath?
I already shared my concerns about how they were, how the dating was on them.
And I had caught that this morning, and the ones for you to sign have all the dating fixed to be the same format and today's and tomorrow's dates.
Does that satisfy your concerns, Richard?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Then I will make a motion that we approve each of these policies as presented. With the date change, of course.
So we're talking about,
The FMLA, family medical leave, the
that's,
PFML, part-time sick leave, shift expectations, and medic preceptor.
do we have
Five
to,
policies.
do we have to say what the number is?
I don't think so. The title and the number are the same.
Okay,
So Jim will be signing these afterwards, and he can confirm that they are the same. But I can also read out the numbers if you'd like.
Why don't you do that, Chief?
Okay, so preceptor requirements. I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up. Preceptor
Okay.
requirements are 908. Shift expectations is 739. Paid sick leave, part-time paid sick leave is 524. The, oh, sorry, I got that wrong. There was a, yeah. The paid family medical leave is 524.
Okay, the paid, oh.
No.
Yeah.
I'm looking
Paid
at the
family
Washington
medical
paid family medical leave. It says 526.
We have 526 on our copy.
Let me make sure I don't have mine.
Yeah, 524 is the paid sick leave part-time.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. And then the Paid Family Medical Leave Act is 526, and the state and federal FMLA is 502.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So I'll modify my motion to include those numbers.
All right, I'll second that motion.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor? Aye,
Aye.
thank you. And then we'll go to, under new business, the item we added, item D, which is the deputy chief's, let's see, I've got it right here.
But Battalion Chief Promotional
Battalion
Certification.
chief, yeah, sorry, battalion chief list. Promotional testing.
Certified
Yeah,
promotion.
sure,
list.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, thank you.
So we had our testing today. We have all the scores in. I presented you the list, and I'm asking you to certify that list as of tomorrow. That way we can make it official, and I can announce to all the candidates the list.
Okay,
I'll move we certify the list.
okay.
I'll second that.
that. Okay,
Yeah.
so Commissioner Merritt seconded that. And any further discussion and questions about the list? All in favor? Aye. Thank you. And then that brings us to district staff and work group comments.
Chief Gatterman, do you have anything?
I did want them to recognize that there's a picture in the girl's office that was brought in by the family of Bob Betzik. He was the last person alive in that picture, and all the names are on the back of it. Jim, you might be interested in that. Evan, I don't know if Richard would be or not, but it's an old picture of the Kenworth. Bob lived out on the River Road, and his family, part of lived here and part of lived in California, and they made a pretty substantial donation to our EMS fund. So that'd be noted.
Awesome.
Also, we're working with the systems design and the agency that we use for collecting to try to clarify some things, how we want things to move forward, and try to get the best information we can, so we aren't putting people's finances in jeopardy by sending them to collections. So there may be some more information coming on that later.
Okay,
And then you'll notice some of the thank yous on there from the Betsigs that did a couple of donations and some stuff for the crew. There was also not included a thank you from a large family in Eastern Washington for all the mobilizations. They just sent it out to fire departments across the state. Although we didn't participate next year, you can see that if you'd like to, as a good reason why we could participate in the future. The only update I have is we took 452 over to Yakima, to Cascade. That's who you accepted as the bidder for that. So they're starting to look at that, and will get back to us with a lot of those issues that didn't give a price that were just to be determined. And so we'll be coming back with you with a final tally once we get that information in the next couple of weeks.
okay. And that brings us to the fire chief comments.
And I just did that.
Okay. Then we go to commissioner comments.
Well, the WFCA had their online classes. And so I participated in 3 of those. And I've shared with the chief some of my observations. And I thought it was very, very timely. And there is one thing that when I went back through my notes that I did not share with the chief, I don't know why I didn't, but there was some, if we had a policy about what qualifies for something that the commissioners could be reimbursed for, or a motion somewhere along the line. So I've never seen anything, and perhaps when we go through all these various policies, we'll run across one there.
I'm not sure if there's any policies there. I know that with previous board members over the years, our discussions about reimbursement was that we felt that we were our meeting reimbursement was adequate to cover our time and our costs, and that we weren't looking for anything else. So most, for instance, Snow Isle Commissioners meeting, which technically, legally, we could count as a meeting, we never did. So other meetings that legally could be counted as meetings, we never did that either. We were reimbursed for travel or stay away if it was necessary. Although the Chelan conference, of course, I stayed with Chief Simmons when we went over to that, so it didn't cost anything. So our main focus was to reduce the cost to the district rather than find things we could charge them for. We could change that or look for things. There should be a policy probably around that, I guess.
I did
As
look
I
at here.
mentioned, it was mostly, we thought the state mandated meeting reimbursement was adequate.
I believe you guys are covered under the travel and education reimbursement, i.e. like the Chelan.
Yes.
So was there something else specific, Commissioner Flath, that would be in for the commissioners? Because I believe that's pretty much the.
Well, since I've been on the board, I was I was instructed early on that when we went to like the WFCA conferences and things like that, that should be something that I would put down on the reimbursement list.
Yeah,
And,
that is true.
And so I just wanted to make sure we had something there that we could all follow and there wouldn't be any questions somewhere down the line. And I think that's what one of the speakers was asking as well. Make
Okay,
sure
so-
we have something, so somebody doesn't come back and question it, and say, well, how come you're doing this or not doing that, or,
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I always assumed that we were covered under district travel policy and that's the way it's been handled anyway. Whenever I went to a conference, it was paid for.
And it says you are, so I always want to make sure, Commissioner Flath, are you talking about the meeting reimbursement or about reimbursement for other things?
Well, I would think we should make sure we have something there for both things.
Okay, so-
what meetings are we talking about? And then also, the other kind of expenses, like travel or lodging, or things like that.
So we do have a policy for travel and lodging.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's not specific to you, it's for everybody, and I looked, it has you as covered people of the district. So that part is covered. So I think we would just need to do if we do that, I think we would just need to do a one about what meetings are then covered.
Okay. Well, for instance, for these 3 sessions that I participated in with the Washington Fire Commissioner Association, the district, I'm assuming is going to get a bill for some of them. Maybe the deputy chief already received that. Anyway.
Oh, we paid it when we registered for you.
Yeah,
For,
you paid
for
those
each
in
one of
advance.
them?
Yeah, that conference had a registration fee, and so we paid that registration fee that gave you access to all of those.
Oh, okay.
So that falls under that travel education reimbursement policy that you fit under. That's why I was trying to define what you were asking, because we have one for those things. We don't have one for anything about the meetings.
Okay.
So you're
Because-
good on the travel and education, but we don't have anything for the meetings.
Okay. Well, because that was one of my questions I was going to ask tonight, if the 3 days that I spent on those, being a part of those conferences, should I put that down on the thing,
I believe legally you can do that. I've never done that for any of the conferences I attended, even if I attended one in Spokane or Tulalip or Milan.
yeah.
But I think legally, like I said earlier, you can do that. That's part of the definition of a meeting, commissioners meeting.
And I do believe one of the first conferences I went to is they were talking about it, and that's kind of reaffirmed some of what I've been doing, since that time.
Yeah.
Okay. I
But
got
I
that.
think
I just wanted to make sure I was clear.
Yeah, I think it would be helpful to list that kind of thing,
Okay.
Okay. Any other commissioner comments?
Oh,
Okay,
and
with,
that did remind me that actually we have that conference. They sent out a link since we were a participating member, and so it was recorded. So if Jim or Evan or anybody else wants to view those sessions, we have the link to the recording of all those sessions.
Yeah, that'd be great.
yes, it would.
I will send it out to you too.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Then we will retire to executive session, not to last longer than
I would say 10 minutes.
10 minutes. All right, so we will adjourn our regular meeting at 1950 hours and resume our regular meeting again after executive session no later than 2000 hours.
Okay.
Shall we Okay. Is everybody returned?
I think Evan is almost there.
Yep.
There you
All
go.
right. And there's Richard. So we adjourned our executive session with no action taken. We will resume our regular meeting. And unless there's any further comments, we will adjourn our regular meeting at 20:01 hours.
There was no action taken, right?
Yeah, I said that.
Oh, okay.
I did say that.
Thank you.
It's in the recording. All right. So
At
I'm
least
hanging
it
up.
was, right?
Have a good night.
Good night.
Nice. Yeah.